My name is Blakely Kilgore, and tonight we're going to talk about John J. Dunn and Dunn's Tavern. John Dunn's Tavern. John J. Dunn's Tavern. So the year is... You hear toilet flushing? So the year is 1843, and we are in the deep south, below the Bible Belt, in Huntsville, Alabama. That's where we are. We're there. We're in Huntsville. So it's a small town because it's a southern Alabama town. So many taverns existed in the 1800s, and that was due to the stagecoach travel. So people could go from Tuscaloosa to Huntsville to Bluntsville, and along the way they would need food and drinks and lodging. However, the alcohol side of things was strictly regulated, so that led to all of the tavern owners, they had to keep a ledger of everyone that they sold alcohol to. So John J. Dunn's Tavern has a ledger. And this ledger says that this bar was only open for 6 months. And in that 6-month time period, there was no revenue. This motherfucker was eating ramen. Nothing going on. So you're like, how is this guy keeping the lights on? How is this bar running? Why are all these important people going in there? People start talking and they're like, man, I saw a governor walk into this place. Then they're like, man, I saw a doctor walk into this place. You're in a southern town, and I don't know if people know about southern towns, but you're only really talked about if you're important. Dr. Albert J. Russell. But Dr. Albert J. Russell, he's well known in the town, and he doesn't drink. He's the square that everyone's like, oh, why is he walking into my bar? But they had cakes and things like that because women weren't allowed to buy alcohol. Slaves weren't allowed to buy alcohol. Indians weren't allowed to buy alcohol. So John J. Dunn's Tavern sells all these goodies for the women. So Dr. Albert over here, he doesn't drink, so he's just hanging out with the chicks in the corner, freaking shoving his face full of cakes all the time. Which really led to his demise at the age of 44. I'm gonna outlive him because I'm fermenting my liver. So the Irishman that walks into the bar is going to be William Patton, and he's walking on in with Colonel, I keep wanting to say Colonial, Colonel Larkin Bradford. So they walk on in and they go and they start talking about PA Foot. So probably one of the most stoic members at the bar. So Mr. P.A. Foot had a little bit of a reputation to maintain because his cousin ended up becoming the Democratic governor of Alabama. So whenever he would walk into the bar, obviously that was the main topic of conversation. It's like, hey, that's that Foot guy. His governor cousin is running Alabama. They're making shit happen. And they see Henry Foote, governor of Alabama, and so they got some money, and they got some knowledge, and they're probably some really powerful people. So probably one of the more notable men who would walk into Dunn's Tavern was the rich motherfucker by the name of William Patton. He's a wealthy son of a bitch. So William Patton was an Irishman, and when he would walk into the bar, everyone would basically point fingers and be like, that's where the money's at. That's the man you need to talk to. He's a part of the Bell Company, right? I'm assuming that's telephones, light bulbs. Bell South. Telephones, right? They see an Indian warrior's son turned into a colonel. Colonial? Colonel. C-O-L. Colonel. So Colonel walks into this bar So on one end of the bar, you have Dr. Albert J. Russell. He's having a conversation with P.A. Foote. They're sitting over there and they notice Colonel Larkin Bradford. So Colonel Larkin Bradford, as P.A. Foote would put it, married probably the youngest, prettiest girl in town. And nobody really knows how she died, but she just kind of died at the age of 22. Her tombstone read, "Lips I have kissed, ye are faded and cold. Hands I have pressed, ye are covered with mold." Because she's dead. "Form I have collapsed, that are crumbling away, and soon your bosom the weeper will lay." And inside of this ledger, we see all the way from like the drunken town folk, all the way up to like some really prominent figures in Alabama's history. John J. Dunn might not even have really existed. Never married, no marriage certificate, so he either was using a fake name or he was really sad. So John J. Dunn, he's never fucking born. He never gets married. He may or may not have owned this tavern. There's no death record, there's no funeral, there's no tombstone. Literally, he only existed through this ledger of famous political people who show up to his bar. He witnessed the liquidation of the State Bank of Alabama. It was witnessing Clement Clay, literally the town's most eligible bachelor, getting in a fight in the town square with the Reverend, who almost got his ear torn off. So the John J. Dunn ledger, which is our only insight into Dunn's Tavern. You can progressively see the handwriting getting worse. You can progressively see the handwriting switching between two different people. You see their names getting scribbled even worse and worse. And you can even see the ledger where it swaps back and forth between what we think is John J. Dunn's handwriting and someone else at that bar. Learning about Alabama governors from a man who didn't exist. So yeah, they don't have these bars where I come from, apparently. I'm too drunk to go anymore. Well, I'm Blake with Gilgore.
Turn the music down a smidge in there. I don't know how sensitive that's.
That's a good start. That's a good lead in.
Good job. Good job.
So really good so far. It sounded like a drunk history.
Well, I'm drunk in this history, so.
Man, you gotta talk to like Huntsville.
And the reason I blame him is so much money.
Quite indubitably.
Such a large fortune.
Okay.
Alright, let's try that.
That was great. That was so good.
Let's do that again.
Okay.
Well,
Hold on, let me.
We'll see how it looked first.
Lord.
And then
I need to be a lot more.
And the reason I blame him is so much money. Rumor has it. That's where the money's at. Remember last night when we were talking in the morning?
Clearly new money because I don't know how to shuffle.
That is not what something that. First of all, you shouldn't touch it like that. Second of all,
They are more focused on the people than the fact that this guy didn't exist.
Right.
We're more focused on the fact that the guy didn't exist.
That's about all I know right now is the guy didn't exist.
well, I think we just shot the climax, which is good.
Yeah, I think that was good.
What?
I think that last one you did.
There, so just kind of died at the age of 22. That was terrible. That was terrible. And nobody knows how she died, but I just hang on.
John J. Dunn doesn't have a birth certificate. My name's spelled wrong on my birth certificate, but I have one. I exist.
Me outside.
Well, I'll be waiting for your answer a few years from now. When I'm in charge.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
And that fucker ate so many cakes, he basically just died in the fucking bar. Alright. Should you mouth? That's the man you need to talk to, too.
Yeah, do that. Do that.
Johnny, you got like.
He witnessed 5 other things that I forgot. Alright.
It'll be good. This will be like incremental improvement. This time we probably got our shot better lined up.
And
All right.
nobody really knows how to shoot